Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about one of the first comic book series I started collecting when I was a kid. Literally, this issue, Darkhawk, number 4, was at least one of the first 5 comic books I ever bought. I bought them at a local supermarket. I pulled them off one of those spinny racks. And all these issues are from, that we're going to cover today, are from my original collection. I used to have at least the first 30 issues. I lost a ton of them. So I have issues 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, and 19. But what we're going to see is we're going to get a basic idea of what went down in the series, or the tone and direction that the series was going for. Sorry there. So without further ado, let's get into this. So in these type of spotlight videos where I want to focus on the character, I always love to pull out my old trading cards. This is from Marvel Series 2. I love the fact that he had these type of wings that really reminded me of the Silverhawks, because I love that cartoon. Silverhawks came out mid to late 80s, and it was an awesome cartoon. Like Silverhawks and Thundercats, oh boy, those were awesome. So, as I said before, he was like a mid-level hero. Like his strength wasn't anything off the charts. Sort of on the level of Spider-Man's strength. He could, his durability was higher than normal human, so he could take a proper beating. Also, here's from Marvel Series 3. The art here is much better compared to this one. Here you can see his energy projections level 3, so he had like these type of dark energy blasts that it came out of the amulet in his chest that could probably knock out a gangster, a thug, maybe cause some damage to a car or some type of body armor and stuff like that. It wasn't anything super off the charts. This is from one of my old Marvel character sheets, how to draw the character. And his design is pretty basic. Like, he had these Milli Vanilli shoulder pads. I love the helmet. The design of the helmet, for me, was the best part of the character. He had the claws. Like a ton of characters in the early 90s had claws. And it was also a grappling hook. And all the basic info on the character. Since this character was pretty new in the 90s, the part where we get the whole history of the character, there's not much to it. It only gets to Darkhawk issue number 11. And this series had, as the main writer, his name was, I can't remember his name, Danny Fingeroth. He's going to be the writer of all these issues that we're going to cover. Mike Manley is going to be the artist. As we progress through these issues, the art is going to go down sharply. It's very noticeable. And there's also issues with the coloring. The quality of the coloring in all these issues starts to go down. And the consistency, there's like color changes in certain characters and stuff like that. So, it's a real shame that I lost a ton of these issues. But, boy, when I sat down to reread these, it was an incredible nostalgia trip. I remembered a ton of really awesome things. Also, I saw the advertisement for the Rocketeer movie. That was one of the first movies I ever went to see at a theater. I remember really loving that movie. The interesting thing is, I never saw that movie again. Like, I saw it that one time at the theaters, and then I never again saw it. I really hope that they bring back and reboot this character. He was like, the whole period and where it takes place and stuff like that, I thought was really awesome. So, Darkhawk, in this first story, he goes up against this guy called Savage Steel. Still during this time, it's a big mystery, the nature of this amulet, where he gets his powers from, how his powers actually work. And there's a whole issue that his face is all disfigured too. And we get that whole mystery. So in this first issue, he fights against this guy he looks like the Ironmonger. He's gigantic. And he really overpowers Darkhawk. Darkhawk barely makes it out alive with this whole situation. Things really go pretty bad for Darkhawk. The bad guy gets away. That whole situation that he takes off his helmet and sees his face is all jacked up. When he's without the costume, it's actually an illusion that the amulet casts. Issue, we get the introduction of Portal. Really, really interesting character. And what I liked is that when Darkhawk confronts Portal, cross paths for the first time. Darkhawk sees his arm and he has so many questions for Portal because he doesn't understand what the hell is where this armor comes from, its origins. He wants to know stuff, but Portal totally freaks out when he sees him because later on we find out that the last guy that had the same armor was trying to kill him, so that's why Portal totally freaks out. His design is 90s as hell. You got the big guns, you got the asymmetric design. He needs claws on this side. He would be the most 90s character ever. The cables and stuff like that coming out all over the place, pouches, ammo, it's the whole shebang. So we get a pretty cool battle. We have a ton of questions about who are these characters, where they come from. I remember getting really hooked with this whole mystery. But at the end of the battle, Portal gets knocked out. Darkhawk doesn't get the answers that he wants, and he's taken into custody. Then, issue number 6 is the first comic book that I ever got with Captain America in it. I was aware of this character. Obviously, he's a pop culture icon, but I had no idea who Daredevil was at that time. So that was the first time I get to see Captain America and Daredevil in action. And there I discovered the whole thing of that Daredevil is blind and he has echolocation powers and stuff like that. So Portal is taken to a hospital. Captain America arrives to investigate because Portal and Cap actually crossed paths in Avengers issue 304. I had no idea he popped up there, or I didn't remember. So someone sends the UFOs to capture Portal, and so we have Captain America teaming up, as we saw in the cover, with Darkhawk and Daredevil, and it's really cool to see these characters interact with each other. And there's a moment where they start learning how to work together and use some teamwork. There's some synergy amongst these characters. End of the story. Portal escapes. Darkhawk doesn't get any of his questions answered. We go into issue number 7. There's like this evil bad guy, mob boss, a business dude that just wants to get his hands on Darkhawk's amulet. And he creates this villain called Lodestone that has magnetic powers, very similar to the ones that Magneto has. Her design is pretty cool, but in the next issue, her coloring, there's going to be major issues with her coloring. Sometimes she's going to have a normal face, sometimes she's going to have a blue face, in other moments it's all black. The coloring here is purple. It changes a couple of times in that issue. Here we get that cover with Darkhawk versus Lodestone. It's an okay story. Like, the stories themselves and the plot, outside of like the mysteries of the origins of the character, they aren't the best. I remember seeing this advertisement. I always wanted to call, and my parents would never let me play these games that you would play on the phone, dialing numbers and stuff like that. So that's one thing I would that I always wanted to do. There's this one. There was another one with all these Marvel characters. Go this issue, on issue number 8, we had all the Toy Biz X-Men characters that I remember when this came out. This was a big deal, and me and my friends set out to collect all these characters. It was really, really tough. Like, Colossus and Nightcrawler were all over the place, but it was really and Cyclops. And it was really hard to get Wolverine, at least at where I lived in California. It was almost impossible, and Storm. And I remember Archangel also being hard. I was the only one amongst my friends having Archangel, and the bad guys were all pretty easy to get: Apocalypse, Juggernaut, and Magneto. But I remember this toy collection coming out, and it was like we all freaked out. We all wanted these. Then we have Darkhawk versus Tombstone, and in this issue, like, the quality of the art goes straight down. Like, we're way further down the line, issue number 15, and it's not good. Here's that other telephone thing you had to call with all the heroes. And then we have a team up with Spider-Man fighting the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and again, the quality of the art goes way down. This is a pretty fun issue. The Brotherhood tried to recruit Portal into the ranks. Portal wants nothing to do with these guys. Spider-Man and Darkhawk team up, fight against. It's a dumb action issue, but I had a lot of fun with it. But the art is, wow, it's not the best. It feels really rough, really choppy, and some reason Sauron has teeth. So I'm gonna leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it, and see you guys next time. Bye.